What's good, heathens? How y'all doing? Gotta fix this goddamn. Hold this phone. Doom Patrol, Season 1, Episode 13. Shit. God damn it. What's the name of this one? Flex Patrol, Heathens. Alright. First off, Vic did not kill his daddy. Thank the Father. Cause I swear, this gonna be awkward like a motherfucker. He ain't kill his daddy, so thank you. God, like, Lord, how is we gonna like, they really don't need that extra mess going along with whatever else they got going on. But here we're gonna talk about a character called Flex Mentallo, the muscle man of mystery. Let me often pull him up a little real quick so we could talk about this fine ass brother. And to be honest, he do look like one of them ass, like them muscle men, like a muscle man on the beach or whatever, like back in the day and all that stuff and everything. But whoever they got playing this brother, that motherfucker fine, bitch. That motherfucker gorgeous. Oh my God. His body is everything. I ain't gonna even lie. Soon he was on the screen with that picnic basket holding his hands wide. I was just staring. I was like, good Lord, you look good. Jesus. Okay. So we got Flex Mentallo, comic book character, created by Grant Morrison, another one of my favorites, and artist Richard Case in 1990 doing their run on Doom Patrol. They said Flex is in part a parody of Charles Atlas' long-running The Insult That Made a Man Out of Mac advertisement scenes in American comics from the past. Alright, so there's that. Okay, in 96 they had a self-titled 4-issue miniseries written by Morrison, illustrated by Frank Quitely and everything, and boo. And I'm trying to think about, I want to bring about his powers. I'm trying to see about his powers. Okay, abilities. Flexing muscles can alter reality. That's his juice. That's his quirk. That's part of his juju. Wow. Okay, so power ability. As the man of muscle, Mr. Flex Mentallo powers are apparently vast but ill-defined. In a general sense, Flex can alter reality by flexing his muscles in a reverse form of mind over matter. Oh, okay. In the most extreme exertion of his power, he was able to transform the Pentagon into a circular building for a brief moment. When Flex uses his power, his hero halo, a shimmering projection of the words "Hero of the Beach," appears above his head. Okay. So that's a little bit about Homeboy. So we start off the episode with a goddamn flashback and everything. That's him in all his beautiful ass glory. And he gets snatched up by this little kid agent with this little kitty cat that basically opened his mouth and pulled Flex Mentallo in his bed. It was kind of like almost like the donkey from the first episode. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. So this was like in the 60s. So Flex Mentallo been there for a minute. And he actually meets Larry in there. But the thing about him though, which they really never talked about in this episode or whatever. Maybe they'll do it in the next one. How Flex was able to basically pay attention. He was able to hear Sparky. He called Larry's soul Sparky. He was able to talk to him, communicate with him. But as we all know, Larry don't have the ability with his soul yet. Hopefully it happens for the long down the line. But yeah, it don't happen. Now mind you, Flex Mentallo could also hear, what was going on inside of Cyborg. Remember from the last episode. So I wonder what that got to do with whatever it is. And so basically in this episode, we dealing with Vic and him dealing with the ramifications of nobody basically gooping his ass into basically damn near killing his dad. We get a little bit history on Rita and what's basically that monkey on her back and shit like that. And what else? We also deal with, the thing with Larry and his spirit and his soul or whatever. And we also see that they are one and the same but two different entities, but they're still one and the same. And basically Larry would not survive long without the spirit. I think his body starts breaking down. And being that Larry is a walking cancer, radiation cancer, whatever, yeah. So we learn about that, and we basically, spirit basically shows Larry what they need to help with Flex Mentallo. So when they was able to get away from the ant form, all of them, right? Flex Mentallo was the dude next door with the beard and all that stuff, watching his TV and all that. Now, mind you, when they was able to, all chunk the deuces out of the ant form, Flex don't remember nothing. Flex don't know his name. Flex don't know nobody. Main thing with Flex is he gotta watch TV. That's the soap opera that he basically loves, and he has to watch TV. And here's another thing we starting to see. Ever since Jane came back from the underground, it seems like she having more and more, a little bit more control over her motherfucking personalities. And you especially see it with Karen. Well, not really with Karen, because when Karen heard that song, Karen was rest to go. But, like with Flick, and Flick, that's the teleporting one. And she was able to boop, 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 and all that stuff like that, right? And so, they leave. Jane takes Vic and his father to the hospital. Then Rita like, how you just gonna leave him there? Then she goes snatches Rita and make sure Rita is there with Vic or whatever. And so, I had to excuse me, y'all. Okay, so let's get to the Rita shit. Okay, Vic feels some kind of way. And it basically take, Rita talking to Vic and basically telling him, like, listen, we need you in this fight against, nobody to find the chief. And, at the end of the episode, he accepts Grid back, and he basically says, I'm going to do this, but I can't fight with y'all. I got to be here for my dad. And, we're like, all right, cool, bet. So, we learned something about Rita's history. Now, we already knew it was something about a baby, especially from the beginning of the season. And so here I'm thinking, I was like, okay, damn, you had a baby and you gave the baby up for adoption. Right? That's what I'm thinking. No, it's more to that. Okay. Rita was in the hospital. And Rita saw a baby carriage. And Rita, she started losing control of her body and stuff like that. Even though she had like 2 seats beside her full of little Debbie snack cake wrappers or whatever. And so there was this older cat, this old dude who looks like, I done seen that old man before. I done seen him before on so many shows, and I can't think of who the hell he is right now. Okay, so this old man just conveniently shows up, and she's walking around with this dude talking and all that and things of that nature. And the way he talks, it basically makes her open up and just basically tell her secrets. And she was like, when you in the Hollywood light, the star, the limelight is on you and everything warm, woo. But she was getting at a certain age when no calls stopped coming like they should. And so she met up with this producer who has this thing for young starlets and all that shit. Now, Rita didn't fuck the man. So what was her job was to basically, she became like a pimp in a sense. She was a pimp in a sense. And so she will basically set up these dates with the new starlets. They go over to him, fuck that man, but fucked him, and so he could open the doors to Valhalla. And basically, they be getting in all them big old movie deals and all that stuff, and the roles start coming back to her. So she kept doing it, right? And now in the episode when they met the first Doom Patrol, now remember when Rita was up in there with the dude with the little like salad spinner thing on his head, and you saw that young blonde chick girl with her wrist cut, and you saw how Rita was acting. Alright, so Rita was like, there was one girl ended up pregnant. Rita knew. Old dude wasn't trying to be no daddy like that. So Rita gave that girl $100 to do whatever. I'm guessing $100 to get the baby taken care of. Set it up for adoption. Did she have the baby or was she pregnant? No, she must have been pregnant. So I guess to have an abortion or whatever. And next thing you know, came in the newspaper, the girl killed herself. Lord have mercy. So then Rita, after that happened, Rita was on that movie, The Forbidden Congo. And that's when she fell into the water and got fucked up for the rest of her life. But karma is a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And so while she said that, the old person said, well, look, homeboy, you look like you did what you need to do. Your past won't have no power over you. But come to find out, the old dude was Dr. Nobody, in a sense. Exactly. So that's Rita and them. They done. Flex Mentallo. That gorgeous ass man. Okay. So here's the thing. Flex and Larry, they had sailed side by side. And Flex thing was this. He said, I'm getting the hell out of here. He was using his muscle memory and everything to open doors. He said he could open doors to anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, while now we get flashbacks going back and forth and we see certain things. And now we see the reason why he was so hung up on the TV. Now, when it got to a point back in the past when they was like, listen, either you gonna act right or we gonna give you something to act right for. Basically talking about the Bureau. So the Bureau basically pulls this little TV, well, Flex call it a boob tube and everything, and they show his wife, Dolores. and she up in there with that man, and that man doing all kind of shit, torturing her and everything, burning her hair and all that stuff. And so that basically took the fight out of Flex, right? And Flex was like, sorry, Sparky. And basically he was talking to, Larry's spirit or whatever. And he basically concaved. And so I'm guessing through all them years of torture, and they probably wiped his memory and all that stuff. And just like that old lady from the previous episode, one that basically, did the whole Men in Black thing to Vic, that was Dolores. That was Flex Mentallo's wife, right? And so it's funny, not it's sad about that, but when we go in the present time, how Jane and Cliff and everything, they trying to do all these things to help Flex remember who the fuck he is. And so they do a whole makeover, if you will, cut his hair and all that stuff, put him back in them leopard shorts and shit, and he still don't know who the fuck he is, right? And then, so let me tell you why I cackle, right? They showed a clip of that horrid ass soap opera, which I ain't gonna lie, it remind me of some of the soap operas I grew up on back in the day, especially the ones that were just so out of whack, so out the box, like, for real, that's what we doing. And it showed, Cliff showed up, he made a cameo on one of the episodes. Oh my god, the acting was so bad, y'all. The acting was so bad. Oh my god. And we all know Brendan Fraser can act his ass off, right? But him playing a horrid ass actor, it was just like, oh my god, that is so bad, it's so wrong. But it was hilarious. Now I ain't gonna lie, what was the soap opera back in the day? Days of Our Lives. When I was growing up, listen, Marlena was possessed by the devil. Her man at the time, she had two men, same identity. That nigga was doing, he was a ninja, assassin. He up and did some Matrix shit. That shit killed me, Dad. When he started doing Matrix shit. It was all, listen, Days of Our Lives was the crazy ass shit back in the day. And then Passions came along and then just said, oh, you thought you was something, huh? Well, hold my beer, bitch. Let me show you what I could do. That mess. So, okay. Now, Larry's spirit basically, been lagging behind Larry. Because, the spirit doing all right. He could be basically free to go. And, Larry's like, listen, you could go do what you need to do. You ain't got to run behind me, whoop-de-whoop, and stuff like that. But the spirit was lagging behind, basically to tell him how they could get Flex to get his memory back. And basically, it all deals with Dolores, right? So, they go, Jane go finds Dolores and snatches her up. It was the old lady. Flex there. Flex sees her. She starts giggling, right? And he remembers that giggle. He remembers that's his wife. That's the love of his life. And all that stuff. And they find each other and they hug and everything. And I'm like, wow, this is everything. And child, boy, what I fucking tell you, they got that Bureau of Normandy, some bitch-made motherfuckers. I cannot stand them. You see, homegirl, they did a Thanos. Homegirl started turning to dust, bro. I was like, was that supposed to happen? Wait a minute, the Thanos snap. It took a minute to get to Doom Patrol universe. I was like, and she just basically turned to dust in front of him, bruh. I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. And next thing you know, Flex snapped. Flex started raging And I'm like, oh my God, the mansion finna get blowed up again. And basically, you could see how his power is working all the way from to the hospital, all the way to the hospital, and all that stuff like that. And I'm trying to think, what else happened? What else? Okay, so Rita comes back from the hospital, and Larry, he's back with his spirit. Flex is in mourning, so we can understand him being standoffish. And Rita, she got this oomph in her. She said she ready to go fight. They ready to go get the chief. So they all hands on deck, right? Except for Vic. We all know Vic is with his father. And so they go and see, Mr. Nobody. He in his human form or whatever. And them badass riding chaps or Nazi pants or something. I don't forget what you call them. I forgot what you called them. Listen, I'm watching the episode again. Flex Metallo got a nice ass on him. Let me stop listening. But, I'm just saying. Mr. Nobody, he's like, yes, now we waited 13 episodes for this show to be what it is, a goddamn superhero show. And he said, y'all want him? Come get him, bitch. And I was like, oh, Lord. So, yeah, we got 2 more episodes left, bitches. I'm ready. I'm going to try to get one more out tonight. Yeah, I'm going to try to get one more out tonight. Who knows? I might just go on and do the rest of them. Do boom, boom. Knock them each out the park, y'all. But, yeah. All right, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Holla.